Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my podcast, The Industrial. I am your host, Iris. We are still working on the events industry, and today our guest is Jason. From Christalight Auditorium. Yeah. And he can go ahead and introduce himself further.
Big wave. Thank you, Iris. Yes. This is Jason Baptiste with Christalight Auditorium and Event Hall. We are a venue and decor company, which means we make everything super convenient for our clients. We provide you with the ultimate experience, best value, and we literally create and you celebrate. So that's it in a nutshell.
Talking about a one-stop shop. That's dope. So I actually thought it was just an event hall, but you guys...
Yeah, we're hands-on.
Okay.
We curate the event. We have an emphasis on experience. They out here cutting up because they know I'm in here recording on this interview.
They're like, you got to drop some gems. We got to spice it up a little bit.
That's how they feel about me. But we don't stop, right? Obstacles come, we move around them. So let's get it. So we make it very seamless for our clients. You don't have to go all over the place looking for this service, looking for that service. We've done that for you already.
Okay.
Our venue in its own right is a hybrid concept because we have both the auditorium and the event space, and they're combined, right?
Okay.
So you'd come into our venue and you'd sit in the auditorium, you'd be greeted. We start the program there, then we transition the guests to other parts of the building.
Okay.
So it's not just this linear experience.
And where are you guys located?
Bellingham, Mass. If you don't know where Bellingham is, it's all good because I didn't know where Bellingham was. I thought I was in the wrong place. But we're located a little bit away from Woonsocket, in between Woonsocket and Franklin, Mass. If you go shopping in Rentham, you good. I don't want to hear nothing about, that's too far. Please, y'all go turn up in Providence, Rhode Island.
That is true.
For less.
Not necessarily me, but some people do, because Providence does seem a little steep for me. I'm not going to lie.
I'm the last one. I don't like to drive either. Like coming down here this morning was like, whoop.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Whoop.
So how long have you guys been, you're going on to 4 years.
Yes, we're actually on our 4th year. 35% of small businesses don't make it.
Right.
So, right. We have our 4-year anniversary on the 23rd of April. We'll drop a link for that.
So I'll make sure I edit this and everything before then.
Yeah. 4 years, going strong.
And you said we, so who's the we? Who's part of
my
this
wife
team?
and I, Natalie Crystalline, Natalie Baptiste now.
Mm-hmm.
She should have dropped the Crystalline. That's gonna be a whole nother episode.
That's another podcast.
I'm ready to fight. But it's the two of us, family owned and operated. Our kids are growing in the company.
Okay.
So
I'm going to double back about a question about that later on. But let's get to the nitty to the gritty. I don't know if it's nitty gritty yet, but a question I like to ask my guests is, how do you feel about creating your prices? Do you feel like throughout the 4 years you've gotten a lot of pushback about your prices? Do you feel like you're getting paid enough for what you're providing as a service? You could start with the pushback part.
Kind of intimate there, Iris. I don't know. I just met you.
Sorry.
All up in my business and my prices. No. So, man, everybody is different, right? One thing we don't do anymore, and we started with just because of where we establish the business,
Mm-hmm.
it's coming in at a lower cost.
Okay.
That is a detrimental act. It actually commoditizes your business. Like, you don't want to start with low prices just to get people, and then you're still offering this substandard value.
Right.
You got to get ready to sacrifice, right? So if we're telling you that you can come and get XYZ in service, and you can get it, all of that for just this price, we're doing that because we want to build rapport. Right. We want you to acknowledge the fact that we have an impeccable service, and that, you know, that value is insane. So by the time, once we raise that astronomically, it's like, I get it. I still want it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, we already know what the experience is.
We already
to
know.
pay for it.
Right. And, you know, some people just don't seem to embrace that ideology or methodology. They feel that you only paying me this, that's all you're going to get is this.
Right.
People, if you're providing a service, provide the service. Provide it with passion. Provide it with respect. Provide it with confidence.
Right.
Right? The sweat equity is not a dying characteristic. Put your heart into that. Build the value. You know, do it for others. Don't just like get into it for yourself.
Right.
So when it comes time to price accordingly, you don't have to worry about, oh, we're making a mistake. Is it going to be too expensive? No, it's not going to be too expensive. You know, charge what you're worth. You've proven you're worth it.
Do you think, you said based on where you're located, do you think that pricing would change if you were in the city?
Absolutely.
For
Pricing,
better or for worse?
Well, I mean, what's your definition of better and what's your definition of worse?
So Bellingham sounds a little pricey, so I'm going to say the prices could be a little up there. Now, would you lower them to come in the city?
Absolutely not.
I was about to say, because if you think about it, gentrification and all that stuff, like, people are making money in the city.
Yeah.
It's not like everything's poverty or whatever the case is.
Let's be honest about this. Price is perception.
Right.
Okay? Because the fact of the matter is, people will go out and buy Gucci belts that would cost $5 to make in Asia, buy it for $400 or whatever it is, right? And then turn around and complain about your pricing. This is ludicrous. They are commoditizing you simply because they do not understand the value of what you offer.
Right.
So get at it. Build a value. Build the value. Show and prove, like we would say back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, and don't allow people to commoditize what you're offering. That's a detrimental thing. I see a lot of new businesses, event halls popping up and lowballing the price, dropping the price. Man.
And they still have to.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, but like, you're not going to be around in 3 years.
Yeah.
Right? Because now people will commoditize you. Oh, you used to be cheap. Once people append cheap to what you do, just know you have no value.
Right.
Because you will always be outdone by cheaper.
Right.
Right? And they will always succumb to subpar experiences and services. So it's detrimental both for the business owner and for the consumer.
Right.
So, you know, let's all do our best to charge premium prices. And the best thing we can do for premium pricing, the best reason for charging premium prices is because you will boost your gross revenue and have more capital to acquire customers.
Yeah.
If you're not charging enough, what you charge gets absorbed by your overhead. You still have to market.
Right.
And you still need to pay yourself. And you still need to give that 34% in taxes. Right?
That people don't really
pay attention to, and then you still need to reinvest.
Yeah.
Right? So look at all of these.
And then it's like, consumers want quality service, but how can I give you? It's even like when you work at a 9 to 5, right? Like, how can you expect me to perform at my highest if I'm miserable at my job? 90% of the time, you're miserable at your job because you're not getting paid properly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can have the dopest boss, but if I'm coming into work every day and I'm like, damn, I can't afford my rent. Like, there's only one loaf of bread in in the fridge. I don't know why I thought about one loaf of bread, but that's all I got right now. But that's all I got in the fridge. That's what they're saying.
I know you West Indian for sure right now.
I didn't say hard old bread, guys. I said a loaf of bread. Oh, but you know what I'm saying? Like, how can I provide, like, come and work over your head and know that I'm doing your hair for this price, but you're comparing me, for example, no hate towards my Africans, guys, but people will easily be like, oh, you're charging this, but I could go to the Africans and pay this. Mm-hmm. But why do you think that's okay to pay the Africans X, Y, and Z when you know their work is good quality? You know there's 5 of them in your head. How are they splitting that cost? They're not even making enough money. So it's like people don't mind comparing, but they still don't see the worth in the person that they're paying less to.
Because people allow them to see that.
And it's unfortunate.
You know, people allow that to happen. You know, oh, why are you charging so much? But over here, this I can get it for this. All right, well then, why are you in this chair?
Why are we talking?
Right? Because at the end of the day, guys, not every client is for you.
Yeah.
People want cheap. Don't put them in your seat. You don't need them there.
That's a good slogan.
You know what I'm saying? I got you.
I'm just saying.
It's detrimental to your brand to put people who don't perceive the value of what you offer, right? Beyond that, and they don't even like you. Like, why are you even trying to rock out with them? It's not going to benefit your business because, A, they're gonna pay you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do it for the money, monetary engagement. True. However, there are other levels and other variables to that, right? Mm-hmm. Because if I have, for example, I have a client comes in, we do the job for them, boom, boom, they're gone. Yep. I don't get a review, right? Okay. I don't get the word of mouth effect.
Right.
Okay. I most likely would not have had much zeal in, the team wouldn't have had much zeal in putting together the core for them. Mm-hmm. It would have been, Right. But whole other energy, somebody comes in, I love your work. I've been seeing it on Facebook, boobity boo, bobbity bop. And, right. This is amazing what you built. Well, thank you. Now you're pouring into each other, right? There's camaraderie. Mm-hmm. Someone appreciates you, you appreciate them. It just builds a whole different energy.
Right.
And from that energy field, we find prosperity. Yeah. Because when we cultivate that positive energy, as we know, energy is infinite, right? So it's going to span out. So I've cultivated the positive moment with you. You take that energy, you leave here, you're going to cultivate it elsewhere, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. At some point it might dissipate, maybe, but it keeps going. And that is beneficial to a business. Listen,
right.
We just started marketing.
This year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
everything before this was all word of mouth.
I hear that.
All right? We took 2-3 years. Money came in, back into the business. Mm-hmm. Money came in, back into the business. Oh, relearn that. Initiate this new version of it. Mm-hmm. Buy all this stuff. Like, sacrifice, man. It's just important. But this is pricing. You just,
So know your worth,
kind of. You got to know your worth. You've got to make sure that you're being smart about things. Mm-hmm. Who are you benefiting not charging enough where you can't even pay your bills, right? Why are you going through all of this hard work and your return on that investment is nothing?
Right. Just to say you own a business.
Just to say you own a business? I don't want to say that shit.
No.
I don't want to be telling you people I own a business.
Like, you're going to be crying next time you talk to I own a business. Because it's like, I wonder if it's the psychological effect, like with obviously a lot of things that we encounter, a lot of issues and traumas and stuff come from childhood, right? And we are a culture of trauma, unfortunately. So I wonder when it comes to knowing your worth, it's already a mental thing we have to like learn. Like by affirmations, this, that, like all these things we have to readjust to and recreate in our brains because growing up we may or may not have had that. So now we're adults, even in a 9 to 5, not just being an entrepreneur, like knowing your worth, knowing how to speak up and say, I want a raise. No, I deserve a raise because X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Just like, oh, I'm going to change my prices. No, I deserve to change my prices because I've been doing hair since I was 11 and I learned how to do all these styles. Every year a new style comes out and I do this and I go to trainings and I collab with other stuff. You know, like you're investing in yourself so much, but it's so hard to understand and like make that equivalent to knowing your worth. Like, okay, I did all this, but I still feel like I'm here. How? You know? But I think sometimes it's hard to translate to other people. I think we talked about this, kind of touched it a little bit, like to translate that to somebody who they themselves don't know their worth. Now you're trying to push to them like, this is what I'm worth, and they're looking at you like, why do you think you're worth that? Damn it, I'm not even worth that. Like now you're over here second guessing yourself. Like it's not about you. It's about me knowing myself and knowing what I'm giving you and providing to you as a service. But pricing is always like, not always. I'm seeing a lot of people who've been in business for a longer period of time be like, this is my price and that's it. And I'm struggling. I'm not even gonna lie to you people. I'm struggling with that because I've been in the game for a long time. Been in the salons, went to school, did everything I needed to do. I learned how to do the invisible braids. I learned how to do this. I learned how to do that. Blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, I had somebody tell me the other day, don't be all whispering your price. And I was like, oh, don't say that to me. Eric, if you're listening, it was you. But he's been my friend for so long, and I've been doing his hair. And he was there at a moment where somebody was like, oh, how much you charge for this? And I'm like, mind you, I'm not even shy like that. But for some reason, when it comes to those prices, you get kind of nervous. So I'm actually in this space where I'm like, I need online booking because I can't talk to people.
So one thing I would love to do right now is take this opportunity to redirect you.
Okay.
Okay? Because you just said, I can't.
Oop. Sorry.
Yeah. You can't, you won't.
Exactly.
That's the truck outside. The truck mad that you just said I can't. So it's like,
it's been the block. Like, hold on, what you can't do now?
What's the problem with telling people what you're worth?
Right.
The other day I made a post on Facebook. I asked how many people are looking to earn 7 to 8 figures this year. Mm-hmm. That's my goal, right? Yeah. 7 to 8 figures. Somebody responded, you should, for simplification, you shouldn't talk about that, keep it to yourself. Why?
Right. What was their reason behind that?
Why? You know my trajectory. If I'm telling you I'm looking to make 7 to 8 figures, you won't come do business with me. I hope you already know what it is.
Right.
Right? Because I'm picking some bread and I'm going to provide the value for it, but I'm going to make my money, and I'm not going to be ashamed of saying that I want more money.
Right.
Right? So why are you reluctant to let people know that you are valuable?
Yeah.
I can go down a rabbit hole with that one, but we'll start with that.
We're going to start right there.
Yeah. Like, why are you refraining from letting people know, I'm valuable? I cared enough about you that I invested in myself. I invested in my education. I learned. I practiced. I executed. I leveled up so that I could provide to you top tier caliber service.
Right.
This is my price.
I think on that, like, people really will make you feel guilty. And it's unfortunate because it'd be your people most of the times, but it's like people will really make you feel guilty. And I've had, not to focus on, I'm not the guest, but I'm gonna just touch this real quick. But like, people will make you feel like, oh, that's how much? But they've seen you grow throughout the years. They've seen me do hair from my house to a shop to my own business or whatever the case is. Like, they've seen all that, but they still would question. Yeah. And for me to have to break it down to you, like, do you know I've been working in a shop since I was 12, 13 years old, braiding? Do you know that I learned all these skills before I even went to hair school? Do you know that I have to go on YouTube and practice on my niece or my sister's hair to figure out these new styles? Like, or when I'm bored, I might braid my son's hair. Well, he has locks now, so that was some time ago. But you know, like people, I feel like in one episode I interviewed somebody and they were like, people don't care. And I was like, oh, that's true. Mm-mm. People don't care, but some people will have that aha moment, like, damn, you know, I forgot that you've been doing hair for so, or they don't make it a business. Mm-hmm. In some cases, like when you are in certain businesses, they might look at your business as a business because it's like you're in a building, you have, I don't know.
Because this is a business.
But people don't, they look at hair, you know, especially West Indians and stuff, like, people will look at it as, you're doing this for fun, it's a hobby. No, I'm doing this is my job. This is my career.
I feel like people will embrace whatever version of branding you permit them to receive. If you are on your content grind, mm-hmm. and your content grind shows your progression, right? I'm learning this. I now offer this. Mm-hmm. I now offer this. Hey, you know what I really love to do for my clients? Building the value of your brand, right? With your true disposition. With your true disposition. And letting that simmer. And then stop giving two fucks about what they say about your price. Because not every, I think you were you on that one? Were you on that podcast? It was like, not everybody's your client.
Yeah, it was.
Right? So don't worry about it.
Weed them out.
You know, we are conditioned to perceive ourselves as a certain value.
Yeah.
And where does that actually start? It starts from childhood.
Right.
I drop my kids off. I ask them a series of questions. Mm-hmm. Are you good or great? Great. Are you a leader or a follower?
Right.
I'm a leader. Right? I conditioned them to perceive themselves a certain way because only in acknowledging your value are you able to act with confidence.
Right.
And when we don't have confidence, no matter what everybody says, it's just not going to work out because mm-hmm. you never step up to the plate anyway. Right? And so when you're pricing, believe that you're pricing for the right reason. I'm not saying to go gouge the God of people.
Right.
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, make enough in one day. If you need to take a week off, you're still straight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be calling you in the morning for morning.
Don't call me in the morning. I don't want to talk to you.
You said you're an early bird. I'm like, wait, this took a turn.
No, but no, for real, don't call me. Oh. So just we have to recondition our minds.
Right.
You know, so it's what are we really doing to stand in front of somebody and say, listen, my service is going to cost you $8,000.
And not flinch, not blink,
not flinch, not blink. You have to live what you're talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to step out in confidence, and I guarantee you, if you made more offers at that price point, you would find out that you have more conversions at that price point. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you never stepped into that relative game and ask these questions, mm-hmm. seek these things, you don't have an opportunity. You'll never realize your true potential because you've never stepped into it. Not once, because you're too worried about the perception of somebody else who cannot even conceive the notion of that type of a life.
That was poetry. I'm about to change my prices right now while we're talking, but anyway.
Yeah, I think you should.
No, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
But, all right, guys. He yelled at me enough. I'm going to work on my affirmations, build that confidence up, and tell you guys what my prices are. Okay? Now, with your business, what is the biggest misconception you feel people have? Like, what's one of the biggest things you've heard people say or you've heard,
Oh man, where can we start? Oh, that's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's not for everybody.
Right.
Oh, well, can I just take this out and that out? No,
It's a package deal. That's
it's a
it.
package deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can I get a discount? Sure. What did you get me last year for my birthday? All right. Do you go to work and tell your boss, hey, don't worry, Paul, I'm gonna work for free today. I got you, baby.
Who's
No.
Paul?
Nobody does that.
Right.
So I'll hear a lot of things. What I choose to embrace, what I choose to respond to, are only the things that benefit my goals.
Right.
Right? So like if you feel I'm too expensive, you're absolutely right. I'm very expensive. I'm so expensive because I'm so confident that I'm going to provide you an experience you're not going to get anywhere else. Mm-hmm. Can you go without that experience? Can you live without it? If so, right? I have nothing else for that equation.
Yeah.
Other than I know what I'm worth. This is what I charge. You don't believe it? They believe it. I only need 200 conversions in 1 year to do 7 figures, right? Any which way, flip it.
Right.
Out of 20,000, 40,000, 50,000 people, I'm never going to step in a pool and compete with anybody. Right. There's nothing to compete over. I only need 200 for this particular venture, right? So I go and find the 200 people, make more offers. Right. Feel me? Like right now, I'm about to go in. People going to start getting video messages in the DMs, just like, yo, what's good? Like, cause what do you have to lose? Right. Nothing. So don't worry about what people are going to say about your prices. Oh, it's a hardship to overcome. It's not a hardship to overcome. It's a decision you deciding to embrace this conversation and shift your focus to trying to accommodate somebody who doesn't understand your value. Right. So build the value,
And do you feel like maybe friends and family or even strangers come to you and just make assumptions like, he must be rich because they got that event hall and I see they had 6 events last month and like how easy do you feel like, has anybody ever come to you and said like, oh, that looks easy, like, oh, you're making easy money, like your job is easier than it actually is? Because you said you just started marketing and stuff. Yeah. So people will look at you and not know how you got where you are, right? They don't know that you've reached out to clients to ask them, I don't know if you've done this, but like reached out to clients after and said, how was your experience? Let me get feedback, blah, 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 blah. You want to do a survey, whatever you might or may not do. People don't know how much you put into retaining clients, because that's a tough one, and or expanding your clientele. So like with me, biggest misconception is people will assume like, oh, you're just a braider or something like that. And why do I have to pay you X, Y, and Z if you're just a braider? Because I'm on my feet all day. You want a hairstyle that takes me, 5 hours to do, and my hands are going to hurt. If not, they might not hurt right now, but they're going to hurt when I'm 60. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, they don't consider all the stuff it's going to take for me to provide this service. They just see the after effect of it. Right. So like, is there anything you feel like people look at you and be like, oh, you're just doing an event hall, you don't got to put too much work into that type of thing?
I almost said something inappropriate.
Because we know people talk, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I could care less.
Yeah.
To be $150 with you. I could care less what someone's perception of me is. If you're not rocking with me, you don't sit with me and talk with me, I don't care what you think. Right. How much I make or how fast I make it is none of your blinking business. Right. You helping me make it?
Probably
no? Then shut up. I don't care. So it's I would much rather focus on what I have to do, get it done, than put energy and attention into scrutiny.
Okay.
Right? Like, for me to sit here and try to understand what you're thinking, it's too much time lost.
Right.
I don't really care what you're thinking, because what you're thinking isn't going to feed my children. So, I try to make it. We try to make it so that we're not embracing too many other things, distractions.
Right.
Those are distractions. We start thinking about, oh, why does this person think? How do people think about this? How do these people think about that? Yeah, all right, great. What's more valuable? Knowing what they think, or understanding what you think to get to the next level? Right. So I wouldn't spend much time. I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to answer that question. I don't spend a lot of time, nursing the notions of people who aren't on my level. Right. Like, I'd rather have a conversation with a 7-figure earner, 8-figure earner, figure out how I'm going to get to that next step. Right. Rather than worry about what people think of how I'm making it, if I think I'm doing easy work. And to answer that question, none of this is easy. Right. Sweat equity. We live and breathe it. You understand? And before, it was just me and my wife. 2 weddings in a day. Right. Wow. You ask. We're putting in work. We're putting in a lot of work. Our bodies wouldn't be able to function. You're carrying the whole thing. The whole thing. Our bodies wouldn't be able to function for 3-4 days after that. We still have children to take care of. Right. So, yeah, we work. There's nothing easy about being an entrepreneur, business owner. Exactly. Nothing easy. And like you said, you have children to take care of. Like, people, I think sometimes, well, like I said, a lot of people don't care, or maybe they just don't think past, this is what I need and this is what I want, but they forget that you're human beings, so they forget that means you could be sick, you could be having an off day, which they don't care about. They don't care about your off days. They just want you to give them what you told them you was going to give them, that's it. But they would want the exception to the rule whenever they forget or do something off or whatever the case is. But that's neither here nor there for now. People, yeah, there's a double standard. Because they want you to provide, and that's it. Yeah. And there's no accountability sometimes when they don't provide what they're supposed to provide. But let's think about it, too. Also, we have the same preset. Right? So you go to the grocery store, you expect to be able to buy food. You go to the grocery store, and the shelves are empty. You don't automatically say, oh, my God, are you going to be able to provide for your family? Right? Like, yo, this store, man, gotta go, and I gotta drive all the way over there to go get it. We all preset to be very selfish. Right. And best believe in business, people may like you after, but before, nobody cares. Right. I'm paying you for a service. I just need you to deliver the service to me. And if we are, find friendship along the way, great, I'll be back again. But before that, we're providing service. Nobody cares. People will ask you for a discount because they don't care about what you have to pay for. Right. Or who you have to pay for. Who you have to pay for, right? So it's, that's what we sign up for as entrepreneurs. So I think for me, I don't know if it's just the podcast or me being an entrepreneur now, I'm super attentive and aware of how I deal with people now. I think part of it is the podcast because I'm listening to people's struggles. They're not even, because you can't just talk about the good of everything. There's always bad, not bad, but there's always the opposite somewhere along the way. Yeah, there's always something to learn. So I think for me, it definitely made me a little humble when you're on the phone with that representative that's annoying and doesn't have any answers. And it's like, wait a minute, let me take a step back. This person is doing their job. They only have this much information. I'm going to cuss you out, and then what? You're going to put me on hold? How about, I'm going to tell y'all this. Never come back. I'm going to tell you this. And I can say this because who cares?
But I used to work at a call center, and child, if you gave me all that lip, oh please, yeah, oh yeah, awesome, yeah, wow, I'm so sorry. Can you hold, please? That hold, you know what I'm doing? Chilling. Because who are you talking to? You need a break. You need a break. And now what I realize is the nicer you are to representatives, the more they will want to do for you to help your situation, because we're human.
Right.
I don't know what you're going through on your end, on your side of the phone, and you don't know what I'm going through. You chose to be there because you're getting paid. I'm choosing to deal with you as a customer, but we're still human. So
Right.
what I started to realize is, why am I going to get mad at you? The CEOs up there that made the rules and all the regulations, they don't care nothing about this conversation.
So true.
But you're not even the middleman. You're the bottom man. And I'm going to cuss you out and you ain't even getting paid CEO money.
Exactly.
Honey, I'm going to just be patient. What'd you say? I might be tapping my leg. I might be sitting on there like, oh my God, can I speak to a manager? Not to be rude, but I just need a break from you right now.
Yeah.
But it really gave me a chance to take a step back and be like, listen.
They're buffers,
People are human.
Very much so.
And I think if we normalize being human, a lot more could get done. I think we're far from that right now, but
So I don't think we're going to get back to that.
Oh, I know. But guys, somewhere out there, if you're listening, can we please make steps towards that? Thanks. But yeah, I realized doing the podcast and stuff, I'm really more whew. So what'd you say? Okay, got it. I'll call back and speak to another rep.
Basically, pick and choose your battles, because, that person may have woke up in an abusive relationship.
Right. Sick parents.
You know what I'm saying?
They could be sick, anything.
Just recently, and big up to my man Fa over there in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
We recently started a project, and I was to start the project, so I do illustration. So I was supposed to start the project, help him out and stuff. And I have to allocate time to certain things because I just don't have time for everything. So I'm like, okay, we started this week. That will give me enough time to boom, 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 hit all the milestones, deadlines. And something came up, and I didn't hear back from him. So immediately I defaulted, all right, so it's canceled. Cool. And then he hit me back like, bro, I'm going through some shit. And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Had I just ask more questions. I'm telling you, assuming is a cancer.
Right.
That is the worst state for your mind to be in, is to assume you understand someone's disposition, that this is this, and this is that, before you get confirmation.
Right.
So, yeah.
It causes you to take things personal.
And you can't take things personal, because that's detrimental to you. That's a whole nother conversation. But, yeah, you slow down. Take your time and feel things out. Ask questions.
Yeah, that's and it's big. It's big not only on the client's end. Well, it's big not only on our end. I feel like we are I think me as an entrepreneur, if I get a client who's always on time and I don't hear from them, I will reach out and be like, "Yo, you good?"
Yeah.
But what I will say is, I don't do that with everybody. Because what I realize is sometimes people want you to handhold them, and then they hold you accountable for something that they didn't do. So you missed your appointment because you didn't wake up on time, or you missed your appointment or you were 30 minutes late and I'm only giving you a 15-minute grace period. Oh, not you. Not you. I meant for the hair appointment. Wait, no. Well, guys, yeah.
My defense, Boston traffic is the devil's playground. All right?
I wasn't even talking about him, guys. I was talking about my clients. He felt guilty, and it showed.
You gave the shade stare. You gave the side eye.
I don't look at you like, what happened?
You looking right at me like 30 minutes.
That was a great and worse example at the same time. My bad. That wasn't towards you. No shots fired. That was for everybody else. But whoever felt guilty, I'm talking to you and you apparently. But you know what I'm saying? They will blame. I've had people blame me oh, how come you didn't call me? Excuse me? We're adults. does your boss call you when you're late, 30 minutes late for work, or do you call them and tell them you're running late? Like, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So,
too comfortable.
Yes. And in my field, in comparison to yours, I feel like it's such an intimate space. People soon forget this is business, and we're just because we're having these great conversations and dialogue, they're like, "Oh, that's my girl." No, I'm your hairstylist, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I might have given you some advice, but hello, I'm your hairstylist.
Yeah,
we don't have drinks after this.
Exactly.
This is where it ends. No offense, I still love you guys, but there's Kevin said it before, like there's tiers of friendship or association. So you guys just didn't make it. Love you. Just to let you, but they know this. They know who I'm talking to.
Christalight does not condone or share the same views as it doesn't. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely levels to relationships and dynamics. You know, we do a lot of hand holding. Yeah. That's just comes with the territory. I know a lot of venues probably don't do that, but we wear our heart on our sleeves, man. Like, I'll sit down and I don't come for me asking for this stuff. 'Cause I ain't gonna give it to you. But
like that episode.
Yeah, I we'll have people come in and you give them the price and you was looking at the agony in their face. You know what I'm saying? And, it's different walks of life for everybody, and you can tell that some parents just really want to give this thing to their child,
right?
And they just don't have it like that, but they don't want to say they don't have it from the child. So you know what I'm saying, on the back end, we work a little magic,
right?
And and do our best to take care of them within reason, obviously. But that costs you nothing,
right?
And it means the world to them. So just do it, you know. But like, while you're cultivating these relationships with clients, it's hard. I don't know. Like, you have them in your chair. You know what I'm saying? They sit in your chair and then they leave, right? We are planning with them sometimes months on end.
They don't leave. They come back every 2-3 weeks.
They come back and we're speaking to them. We'll have situations where some things don't go how we expect them to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too deep into it, but sometimes you need to be consoled.
Yeah.
And be human, right? Because we are in the business of being there for human moments,
right? So
to detract from the journey to that happy ending, I wouldn't be honest to tell you, we don't care, right? Deuces. Like, we tend to hold the hand quite a bit. Do you get taken advantage of in some instances? Absolutely.
Of course.
But we are in the business of making memories.
Yeah.
So it's important that we have a certain level of commitment and rapport with our clients.
And I think in your industry too, especially since you said you've been working through word of mouth this whole time, you hand-holding with specific clients, you never know who their guests are either.
No.
So it's not just you giving the experience to the clients and their kids or whomever. You're giving this experience to the guests. You don't know who the heck is sitting in that chair that's like, I like this place. And then they're going to go to the person, your client, and be like, oh, how was your experience, blah, 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 blah. And they're going to be like, yo, they helped me at a time when I thought we're going to have a backyard party.
Right.
They hooked me up enough that I was able to do this, and they might have the funds to pay you times 10.
Yeah.
So it's like really understanding, like, sometimes you don't want to lose a client when you could be gaining 10 more with that one client.
It's true. And don't sometimes necessarily lead with that logic.
Right.
Right? But it's a good rule of practice that you don't know who's coming in through your door. It's an A game 24/7.
Right.
And be genuine about it. Our staff is genuine.
How much staff do you have?
We only have 2 staff members.
Okay.
That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true. We have more than that, but we have 2 on payroll.
Okay. That are
in the venue every day, every week.
Okay.
For the off days, obviously. But and that's part of our culture. If I'm walking through the venue and I see a guest of an older caliber sitting, right, and looking like she or he wants to get something, I'm going to go ask them what they want. Then I'm going to go get it for them. Right. And then I'm going to continue to do that for the rest of the night because that's the right thing to do. Right. You understand what I'm saying? You see a little kid wandering around, you can ask them if they need something. Get them something. They're bored. You know, give them a game. Right. You know, like
something you see your kids. This could be your kid. This could be your grandparent. This could be your mother. This could be your sister.
You never know what that little act of kindness can do for somebody in that moment that just wasn't having a great day. You know, so be kind, be good, be great.
What is it? What is something you would like people to know? Like when it comes to you as not the entrepreneur, but as the person. When it comes to like maybe your values or what you deem as respectful or whatever the case is, like something like I know one thing is like saying I'm human, so respect my time. That's my big one. And I guess I would say respect my time because maybe I didn't have respect for my own time back in the day. Now I'm learning to respect my time and create boundaries. So what is it that something is like, guys, I love what I do, but I would appreciate it if, or I would love it if you guys understood, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, man. We love what we do. We would definitely appreciate it if people respected our time, effort, energy.
Right.
Our time. If you say you're coming for an appointment, show up for the appointment. And if you're not going to show up for the appointment, let us know you're not showing up because it's by appointment.
Do you charge for that or anything?
No, we don't. Well, we should. Our effort, realize we go above and beyond. If I was to go and show you our reviews right now, there'd be one common denominator throughout every post that you see there. 100 or some odd posts. You know, exceeded our expectations.
Nice.
Right? Because we put that energy in there.
Right.
We go hard. When we do it, one, we are here to bring great experiences to people. We provide premium experiences, a premium cost to hard-working individuals. Yeah. So we go above and beyond as a default. It may not be everybody's thing. Get what you pay for. Yeah, I understand that. You know, that's everybody has their thing. But our thing is definitive sweat equity.
Right.
So, you know, just know we went above and beyond for you. Like, don't be ungrateful.
Right.
We've had a few ungratefuls, you know, like we've had a few. So just respect that, you know, and time, energy, and effort. It's the energy and the effort is the same thing. It's that we go in and we make sure that things are right. We make sure your guests are happy. We make sure that, you know, you are comfortable.
Right.
Feel me? Like, I'm really contemplating if I'm gonna get like the hydro foot massager for the bridal suite. You know what I'm saying? So brides can get their feet.
I have a foot massager at the shop.
Okay. And
this after the podcast, I'm going to talk to you about my prices. This is crazy. So I went to a event by, I forgot his name, but it was like a workshop, and he made a statement about going to a barber. He had to go to his barber. This is a little off topic, but very, very necessary. His barber was away, so he went to this other barber that happens to be like an hour, for example, away from where he lives. He goes to the barber. One, the person's an hour away. Two, the person charged like $100 and something for the haircut. And he said that he had no problem paying it because it came with like a facial, basically, like a beard wash and then a facial. I've never heard that happen at a barbershop unless a female works there or something. But
that was standard back in the day.
That needs to come back. Because we need clean faced men too.
Yo.
But and men need to be loved on too. That barber love is like brother love. So, well, Don't do this to me.
I'm like, bro, you rubbing on my arm kind of weird, son. Can you back up?
Like, that's not my
That's
hand.
not the love I need, man.
Listen, they trying to get in when they But he was saying, like, when his barber came back and he went back to his barber, he was like, oh, this ain't the same. So he started going back to the other barber because he was saying the experience is what, even though the drive is longer and he's paying more, like, he felt good leaving there. The experience was different. So I was like, I went to that when I was starting my business and stuff like that. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I want experience. I want my people to. So I got a foot massager. Yeah, bad habit. If my father's listening, he's gonna be like, I've been talking to this girl all these years and she's still doing it. But so when people get their hair washed, I wanted to provide a service that I didn't have to physically provide while people are being serviced. So while people get their hair washed, they could get their foot massage. So it's a calf and foot massage or whatever. Beautiful. Just to like give you a heads up on how we be having the same idea. But like those little experiences, they're crazy because you don't know who's gonna love it, who's gonna hate it. But some people are like, how much you pay for this? Are you charging just for the foot massage? Like, no, get your hair washed too. I'll pay for you, charge you for everything.
Exactly. It's like
it's a package deal. I'm gonna start doing that.
And adding these values, being value driven. I think that's something most of us should, as entrepreneurs, should definitely embrace as a part of their business model. Yeah. Because added value is caring. Right. Caring is another level of service that most aren't going to get everywhere. You know, the foot massage. Listen, I want you to decompress while you're here. So now your business is associated with decompression and feeling good. So now not only do you get a great service, you get a great feeling, like that gentleman was explaining. And these things come full circle, right? I love to move in trifectas when I'm trying to do something. And the way people feel is very, very important. So kudos to you on adding that element. And I wouldn't look about it as a form of, okay, I'm going to charge for this. I look at it as, this is part of the culture of my business. Right. This is what you get with me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And two, I did my little research and the blood flow, it helps stimulate hair growth. From any massages, because it's like, oh shit. So, those brides might need a little more stimulation if they need a head massage.
Hell with the brides. I'm trying to massage myself. I need more inches on these locks.
You don't need time. You almost pulled one. You don't need no more inches.
Yeah, I need some more.
So, I think we're down to the last of the last. What's your biggest challenge with working with people? I think you probably already touched this a little bit, though. It's just like valuing.
I can find a little some more. It's all good.
He's like, there's always room for more.
There's always room for more. So, the biggest challenge? I would say getting some people to fully understand the value of what it is that we're offering. And that's an ongoing thing. Yeah. You know, as soon as you have a new prospect, you have to build the value. That's the consistent obstacle or situation. Aside from that, I can relate on this level. Like when we started out, I had to get used to people.
In general.
In general. Like I've done sales, I've done all of that. But like you have your own space and people disrespecting your items and like breaking your stuff. And then they want to be all extra with it. Like there's parts of my personality that doesn't do well. You feel me? Like I'll let you know that real quick. Yeah. Like don't do that. Right. And, you know, these things that I had to change. You know, I've had to work on reducing the hood and elevating the gentleman. Right. Because that's what's needed for growth.
I actually didn't ask this question, guys. I lied. Hold on. One more question. Do you guys have any trainings you can go to? Like, are there any trainings for event
hall? Interesting thing. I am in the process of putting together Christalight University. This is an effort to, because we feel bad, you know. Some people come to us and we know they really want the service, they just can't afford it.
Right.
Regardless of what the smoking, you know, oh, that's too expensive and da 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 da. What they're really saying is it's too expensive for me
right now.
right now.
Right.
I just don't have that. So I was thinking, okay, how can I go about empowering people to you know, do for themselves? So some of the things is, if I was going to make exceptions and bend a little bit for people, right? I don't want to do it at a loss.
Right.
So what we would do is we'll do programs, or, you know, if you're a member of Christalight University, you can opt in to like an affiliate dynamic where you refer people that close and we shave it off of your booking. You know, indirectly working, or you want to learn how to do this component and do it yourself, and then you could just take a naked package, which we don't really do. Is I think we only have that on like Fridays. Right. But you will be able to learn how to do these things for yourself.
That's dope.
And by being a member, you wouldn't, you know,
you're already paying monthly for.
Right. Yeah. We would allocate the time slot, so you're not like, oh, I only have this block of time. We would give you a little bit more buffer and empowerment. So now look at that, right? You're going to learn a skill. Right. You could turn around and offer that skill for a return. Right. Right. You know, and various other workshops, a lot of which, as you know, are dealing with mental dispositions and getting people in the pocket for them to do this type of work. Because make no mistake, people, this isn't for everybody. It's going to beat you down. Right. Like I always praise my Shifu, and Shifu was Mandarin Chinese from master instructor, with my Kung Fu instructors. I always praise him because he always gave me, besides capability to defend myself, the ability to weather storms. Right. Right. Without being all. And that has helped a lot to this point. So.
When did you guys start the workshops and stuff?
The workshops haven't started. The workshops haven't started yet. I'm in the process of lining it up so we can do it. Just have to make modifications to the website. Okay. You know, landing pages and so on. It's a whole funnel system that needs to happen for that to come to fruition. But
I'm excited.
Definitely going to be doing that. So we got the podcast. We got the Christalight University. We've got intimate concert series coming out that will be happening in the Auditorium, but it's going to be a whole engagement. So you're coming in, you'd be like up close and personal, like these bands and artists, but at the same time you get to ask them direct questions, and then you get to dine with them and politic and party with them at the end. That. So you know, there's a lot of things coming down the pipeline, but
I'm excited because I might have to be in one of those workshops. I'm not gonna lie, but no, but that's dope. And I'm seeing a lot of entrepreneurs create a space to teach, and I think it's great because you learn, like, you know, back in the day, everybody wants to keep things private. Like, oh no, you can figure it out. Oh no, do it yourself. Like, why?
No, because they think in their mind that they're gonna.
I'm not gonna take your clients. They don't even like me. Our personalities don't match. Like, what are you talking about? But now, I mean, obviously with like social media, YouTube and everything, people are willing to educate.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're willing to educate, but let's be honest. Digital assets is a very prosperous industry, and to be able to provide intellectual property for profit, monetary return is a great thing because it's a one-to-many concept. Yeah. You know, so yeah.
Each one teach one.
Each one teach one. Big things.
All right, guys, there goes it. Jason, I appreciate you. You dropped some knowledge. I was over here about to cry and stuff. Like, why are you yelling at me like this on my podcast? But no, I appreciate everything you've said. And I'm like, it's in my head. It's sitting and living in there. So I appreciate that.
It can't stay there.
No. It's not staying there. It's going to come out when I go sit down.
Yeah. Facts.
I'm going to get it done, guys. It's about to be a Iris 2.0 after this podcast.
And we can all agree that Iris needs to stop limiting herself, right? We can all agree that Iris has potential to do really, really amazing things as she's been doing, and should be leveling up and not using the word can't or the word try.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No longer in my vocabulary.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow. You can let them know what platforms they can find you on.
Yeah. You can find us, hashtag christalightevents. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Christalight Events. www.christalight events.com. Get at us online. You can call us 1-844-495-4448. I'm extension 2. Wifey's extension 1.
Number 1, sorry.
We create, you celebrate. Let us know what you want to do. We specialize in weddings, micro weddings, quinceañeras, sweet 16s, super 16s, which I've created for the boys. Can't come in talking about sweet 16 for a boy. Just don't. So, let us know. Look out for our public events that'll be coming up soon as well.
Perfect.
And a podcast.
Oh.
And a podcast.
Okay. I better be a guest. All right. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button.